Hi everybody, Rochelle here from Quebec Cycle Day. Welcome to another exciting episode of Fish Store Xtreme Makeover. Today, we are going to be taking all of this wall of aquariums down. This has been up since our store arrived in this location in 2011, and now it's gotta go. So stay tuned because you really want to watch this episode. So as many of you have noticed, I have been sort of MIA for a couple of weeks. I got many of your messages that you're worried, and I answered most of you, as many as I could. Don't worry about me, everything is fine. Actually, on June 5th, Ben and I, we bought a house together. It's our first house, and well, she's a fixer-upper. So that's why I've been MIA, because, well, Ben has been at the house working on all our projects, and it'll be like that for maybe another month or two, and I'm replacing him at the store. So until I can get my schedule back in order, well, I've been slacking on the videos. So for the beginning of summer, end of spring, I will likely only be doing a video every 2 weeks. And then in the midsummer, end of summer, when everything sort of slows down at the house and Ben can come back to the store and pick up the slack, well, then I'll be able to make a lot more videos. Don't worry, I'm not gonna stop making my videos. It's just I had to prioritize with my house, because I eventually want to live in it, and it needs floors for me to be able to live in it. So it's quite a project, but it's an exciting one. So now back to this. I'm at the store and Ben's not here. He's only here once in a little while to help. And my first instinct, my greatest idea, is to work on Fish Store Xtreme Makeover, because it's not like I have enough work already on my plate. So whatever, it's my store, I do what I want. And if ever you guys want to come see it, it's in Teardown, Quebec. It's right outside of Montreal. So today, we're taking all this down. We're gonna start off by emptying it. So we have to take down the filters. All the filters will be relocated on other aquariums to be able to keep the bacteria cycle. After that, there is the water that will be emptied out. The substrate will be taken out, the pumps, and then after that, it's the plumbing. We'll have to cut it all up. All our beautiful plumbing is, well, going to be taken down. So that's what's gonna be happening on this week's episode of Fish Store Xtreme Makeover. So this is gonna make a huge gaping hole in my store. It's gonna change the flow of the store, which I find for the best, because there are tanks behind this wall that nobody ever sees. So now we're gonna it's gonna be a lot more open after this. Let's get started, because I have a lot of work to do before Ben gets back and starts helping me take it all down. Because I'm strong, but I can't take these down alone. They're 90-gallon tanks. All right. First things first, I shut my power bars off for all my pumps and filters. It's so quiet now in the store. I'm using a mag drive pump with a hose to empty out the aquariums. The filters are going to need to be cleaned up and set back up on other aquariums. This way I can keep all that beneficial bacteria alive for when I need them in the future. I'm removing the substrate and conserving it in my 5-gallon buckets for later use. I'm taking it out using a little metal shovel that was made for cat litter. Don't use the plastic ones, they just break. My mag drive pumps, as much as I love them, can't get 100% of the water out. So, once the substrate has been taken out, I siphon the last of the water. Water is heavy, so this makes a huge difference when taking the aquariums down. These aquariums were 7 feet up in the air. Nobody ever saw the fish in them, so I didn't put many fish in them. In the future, all the tanks will be at eye level in the whole store. Here, Ben is sawing the plumbing that he had set up many years ago and put his love and energy in them, and he is sawing them to take them down. It's a very emotional moment. He's sawing to separate the aquariums, and then he's gonna saw flush with the bulkhead to remove the plumbing from the aquarium. Ideally, we will reuse the plumbing while setting everything back up in the future. It's still good. It's just gonna take up a lot of room in my back store in the meantime. The outtake is down, and now for the water intake. Most of these valves are going to be reused, but some are finished and will have to be disposed of. The moment of truth. taking down those 90-gallon tanks that are dangerously high up. Our technique is to take them down just a little bit and leave them on our ladder. This lets us reposition our hands to take it down the rest of the way and put it on our trolley. At this moment, I thought the hardest part was done, but I had no idea of the ridiculous amount of work that was coming up. I was so young and naive. This one was easy, well, in perspective to the rest of the work, because it was right at the level of our buggy. This 125-gallon tank was the only useful one in all the setup that we're taking down today for my store. The others were either too high, too low, or too small. This one was just right. In a future episode, we are going to be setting it up on the wall of aquariums that I was working on in last year's Fish Store Xtreme Makeover. These racks are different from the ones I usually use. The other ones have metal slabs that I can set the aquarium on. For this system, and considering the beams we had to improvise. The wood is like the one I have in my fry tanks. It's balcony wood. Below, it's solidified on the spot with some 2x4 beams, which make it so heavy, but it also makes it so sturdy. So I can't complain. This is an industrial-grade metal rack. These beams are modular. Everything clips into each other. This makes it easy to move and to adjust the height. Now it's empty. There is so much room, but we are not done yet. These 7 aquariums were semi-detached from the big ones. Because it would have been hell to gauge the flow with our big pump, we used a separate, smaller pump that only supplied these with their water. Both pumps were in the same sump. You know, that gigantic 125-gallon tank that was on the floor? The tanks are painted, and with time, they now look horrible. The paint is chipping, and in some cases, it's completely ruined. Of course, I'm never using paint again and encourage everybody to steer clear from that. In the next episode, you will see what I'm going to use on my tanks instead of paint. If you've been following the series, you'll have a good idea of what I'm going to be using. I'm probably not going to be reusing these small tanks and might just resell them secondhand. I'm not 100% clear on their fate yet. To be able to remove the sump, I'm logically going to remove all the rackings first around it. That electricity that you see is in the way, but we'll fix it up nicely later. To siphon out the water from the floor aquarium, I'm using my trusty Python no-spill kit. This way, I was able to remove as much water as possible to make the tank lighter. At this point, it is 9:45 p.m. and we're sure that we're almost out. Yeah, there's still a lot of work left to do. These beams, I have no idea why, were so hard to take down. They were jammed tight. You'll notice Ben having to lift with all his body. That was way more than I was willing to work at 10 p.m. Next to the sump, we have a pool filter filled with K2. This was our main filtration on the whole system. Each aquarium had their own filter in case we needed to isolate them. Having so much filtration let us add as many fish as we wanted in the system without stressing about ammonia spikes. To lift the sump, we went in steps. First, lift it a little bit to add a 2x4 underneath to get a better grip. This is an old aquarium model, so there is absolutely no better grip underneath, which we found out the hard way. After we removed the styrofoam bottom, I put the 2x4 back. Finally, lift the aquarium completely to put it on our rolling buggy to bring it to the back store, which is overflowing with the aquariums from this project. So that's it for today. It's 11 p.m. We're still finishing up. It's almost over. We're almost going home. The store is a mess. My back store, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to move around in it. All the aquariums are there. We just took them down. We didn't set them back up or anything. That will be in my next episode of Fish Store Xtreme Makeover, probably in next week or the week after, depending on the time I have to work on it and, well, to film and do the montage. If you like this video, there is plenty more where that came from. So subscribe to the channel to make sure not to miss a single one. If you want more fishy content in between my weekly videos, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a great website where you can shop online and see all the fish I have for sale. I ship throughout Canada. If you like this fabulous Cichlid Geek t-shirt that I've been sporting throughout this whole day, I'm selling them on my Teespring store. Every t-shirt you buy really helps me out a lot and encourages me to continue doing what it is I'm doing. So thank you to everyone who has purchased, and thank you to everybody who encourages me week after week, day after day at my local fish store in Terrebonne, Quebec. So I'm signing off for tonight, and I hope I'll see you soon. So see you next time. Bye-bye.